What's going on, everybody? Welcome here to a new mock draft video, mock draft 2.0. This is coming during the second wave of divisional games as I'm filming this. And before we get into making our picks and all that, I'm going to address something in the comments in the last video. I wouldn't normally do this, but I felt the need to do this for this video. I had a Houston Texans fan who was very mad at me in the comment section for giving them safety Cameron Kinchens last mock draft, right? First of all, you shouldn't be mad at that because Kinchens is a really good versatile player. But you complain that their safety wasn't a need, which it is, and D'Amico Ryans would get a very good player to be able to play around with on his defense. Is what he, defensive minded head coach. But you wanted middle linebacker, right? So we'll go look at the middle linebackers. First of all, position is not nearly as valuable as it used to be. No one really at all worth going in this high in the first round. Edgerrin Cooper's really good. Not worth it. You wanted wide receiver. Well, Harrison was off the board, Neighbors off the board, Odunze was off the board, and Thomas was off the board. So if you're going to take another wide receiver, you're going to end up reaching. Which, I mean, sure, you could reach for a wide receiver if that's really what you want your team to do. Then you wanted D-line, right? Defensive line. Johnny Newton was off the board. Maybe Chris Jenkins. I mean, it's just no. It's just no. If you end up always only drafting for need, that's not really the recipe for success, right? The good teams draft the best player available. If you end up drafting for need all the time, you're going to end up reaching down the board and making a bad pick. But we're going to start here. I'm going to mix things up a little bit. I gave Caleb Williams last time to the Bears, I believe. I'm going to go Drake May this time. A lot of people ask what the difference is between May and Williams. May is better in the construct of the play, making the reads, making the quick throws in the pocket. Williams is a way better improviser, getting out of the pocket, extending the play outside of the construct of the play. I think they're 1A, 1B as far as quarterback. There's no 1-2. May is a lot closer to Caleb Williams than a lot of people think. I'm going to go for this route. The Bears take Drake May. Get the arm, get the talent, and see if you can mold him over there in Chicago. Number 2, Washington would take Caleb Williams. They need a quarterback. They're going to have a new head coach. I don't think Sam Howell's the guy. Williams is an exceptional prospect. He's got to learn how to stay in the pocket, not get scared and scramble out. But I think Williams can do that. Patriots at number 3. They really need a quarterback. I'm going to give him one. Quarterbacks 1, 2, 3. I know. But Jaden Daniels is a really good prospect. He upped his stock a lot this past season. Just accuracy, the arm is there, the athleticism, clearly the pocket presence. He's going to be a guy that whoever Gerard Mayo is over there now, head coach, not Bill Belichick, for New England. Jaden Daniels is going to be an instant day 1 starter and a guy that I think Patriots fans are going to end up loving. At 4, obviously, there is our Marvin Harrison spot. The Cardinals aren't going to replace Kyler Murray. They need a weapon. Get Marvin Harrison. The combination of speed, route running, athleticism, the hands. I mean, Harrison's got all that. He's got all that. Now, Chargers here at 5. I'm going to go another wide receiver. I'm going to go Malik Neighbors. Right? Here's the thing. You may say the Chargers don't need wide receiver. Let me explain why they do. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, injury prone. Right? Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Joshua Palmer are all under 1 more year of contract. Only 1 year. Then that would leave your receiving core of Quentin Johnston. You need another guy in there. You need Malik Neighbors. Elite deep threat, great speed, separation skills, run after the catch. Neighbors is great. Giants here at 6. I would be tempted to go with Odunze. I would. But I'm going to go with Olu Fashanu to replace Evan Neal. Maybe able to kick Evan Neal into guard, but he just hasn't been good at tackle. You need to replace him to protect Daniel Jones. I think Fashanu can be a great piece on the other side of Andrew Thomas over there for the Giants. Probably my offensive tackle 1 in this class. Titans at 7. Ooh, this is a tough one for the Titans. Now, I don't do notes for these mock drafts. I go off the top of my head because you're not going to be able to predict out what happens in a mock draft, right? I can't just be like, oh, I want the Vikings to get this player at 11, so I'm going to leave him there. That's not how that happens. Not how that works. Titans at 7. I'm going to go. So I'm gonna go a little bit reach here, a little bit of J.C. Latham. He's just the strongest player on the field when he's on the field. Freak athlete, really good for Alabama this past year. They need offensive line. I think Will Levis. I think you have something there. You need to protect him, right? And I think Latham allows you to do that a little bit. Falcons here on the clock. They're going to be under a new coaching regime. Not really sure what direction they're going to want to go. But I think I'm going to go offense. This is a very offensive-heavy draft. I don't expect the first defensive player to maybe go. I mean, maybe this 8th pick could be the first one. But I think Odunze comes off the board here. You need more weapons. I think they're probably going to end up going the veteran quarterback route or trading for somebody. In this case, maybe Justin Fields, with the Bears taking Drake May in my mock draft. But you need more weapons. Drake London's good. You need someone on the other side. Odunze offers an incredible deep threat, great hands, great ball tracking skills. Odunze is an incredible player. Bears at 9, I think Joe Alt right here. You take Caleb Williams in this situation. You need to protect him. I think Broderick Jones has been a decent tackle. I can't remember who's on the other side. He was a rookie this past year. But Alt is just better than both. I mean, he had a really good 2022. An okay 2022. He raised his stock back up with his 2023. Really good. Jets at 10. Jets at 10. A lot of the guys who I would have given them are off the board. I'm gonna go Brock Bowers. I just think even if it's not the best, need for the Jets, like I mentioned earlier, best player available, and Brock Bowers is a top 4, maybe 5 player in this class. I mean, he's incredible. He's more than just a tight end, what the label of the position says. He's a great blocker, great receiver, great runner in space. Give Rodgers someone else to throw to, another guy. That offense could be really beefed up with Brock Bowers. 11 here, the Vikings. Kirk Cousins under contract, coming off an Achilles injury. I'm going to give them a quarterback, right? Bo Nix could propel himself up into the first round. I don't personally see it, but he could. McCarthy, Michael Penix is there. I think if any one of these guys were to go in the first, it's more likely to be McCarthy. Penix is older, has the injury history. Bo Nix is older. The ceiling isn't really there. McCarthy's younger, has the tools that we look for, though the production isn't really there. So they all have their own faults. But I think McCarthy to the Vikings is going to be my pick. Just get a guy that you can mold. He's young, has a lot of potential. Broncos at 12. I've continued to give them Johnny Newton. I'm going to switch it up and go Cooper DeJean. I think DeJean is an incredible corner. I know the white corner thing. Get over it. He's really good, really, really athletic, versatile, can play safety, nickel, outside corner. DeJean's going to be someone that the Broncos are going to really like to have on that defense. Raiders here at 13. This is an interesting one. I'm going to go Nate Wiggins. I think he could very well be the first corner off the board. In this case, I had DeJean. Wiggins is really good. I haven't watched too much tape of him yet, but he's really, really physical. Had a great year at Clemson. Height, weight, speed guy. And the Raiders like height, weight, speed. Saints at 14. You would think about quarterback maybe. You would think about... No, you don't think. You take tackle. You take Fuaga here. Just a mauler in the run game. Absolute mauler. Trevor Penning hasn't been what you thought over at left tackle. Ryan Ramczyk, he's had injuries. You never really know. He's talked about early retirement potentially. I think in this case you can kick Fuaga out to left tackle, have Penning kick inside to guard potentially, and beef up that offensive line a little bit for Derek Carr. Colts at 15 have always been a tough team for me to take. I think they need a little more help on the edge. I'm going to go Laiatu Latu. I think Latu is the best edge rusher in the class, but he's going to slide down due to medical concerns. He had to medically retire from football. I mean, that's a big medical red flag that teams are... It's going to be hard for them to get over. But Latu is incredible, exceptional speed. Seahawks here at 16. I'm going to go Troy Fautanu. It just makes too much sense. I know that the Washington-Seattle connection, that's not why I'm doing the pick, but it's there. It's because the Seahawks like versatility on the offensive line. Fautanu played tackle in Washington. I think he profiles better as a guard for the NFL. And I think the Seahawks can play around with kind of that offensive line, the pieces they have, and see where they want to put guys. But I think Fautanu ends up sliding in at guard for the Seahawks and just being like a solid anchor piece for them for that run game with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. Jaguars at 17. I've continued to give them interior offensive linemen. In this case, I'm not. I'm going to go edge. The first edge rusher off the board at 17. It's going to go Dallas Turner. He probably will be the first edge rusher off the board. Just a great athlete, fast, uses the speed, had a productive season at Alabama. And the Jaguars get a good player. They need more pressure. Bengals here at 18. Their dream scenario is probably Fuaga or Brock Bowers, but that's not going to happen here. Newton's still on the board. I think they do go tackle. It's just a thing. The Bengals need it. And I really, really like Tyler Guyton. I think he's a guy who's going to rise up boards come combine time and Senior Bowl and all that. Guyton's just a really, really good player. Great pass protector, which might be the most valuable thing in an offensive lineman. And you need to protect Joe Burrow. Rams at 19, they need about everything. They just need to improve in general. And I'm going to go edge rush. I'm going to go Jared Verse. Probably a lower ceiling than a guy like Dallas Turner, but I think Verse is going to come in and dominate right away. Former tight end at Albany, transferred to Florida State, had an insane 2022 and a good 2023. He's solidified as a first-round pick. I think this middle range is about where he'll go. Steelers at 20. This has been an easy one for me. Amarius Mims. Georgia tackle, gets to reunite with his teammate Broderick Jones on the other side. Mims is an incredible athlete, but only has, I believe, like 7 or 8 starts under his belt. So it's a little bit of a project guy. You don't know too much about him, but he's really, really good. I think the Steelers are going to be happy to have him on the other side. You need to protect whoever's going to be your quarterback if you're going to try Pickett again, Rudolph, or go the veteran route. Dolphins at 21. This might be a little bit of an odd one, but I'm going to explain. I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. Elite speed, elite deep threat, and you can never have enough speed on that Dolphins offense. And I think you already have Waddle, right? He's great underneath after the catch, and Hill, who's great deep and underneath after the catch. Brian Thomas allows you to stretch that field even more, which opens up more underneath opportunities for Hill and Waddle. And I think Mike McDaniel would jump at the opportunity to get Thomas, who had a very productive 2023. Eagles at 22 just makes way too much sense. Johnny Newton, interior pass rusher. The Eagles love offensive and defensive line. And Brandon Graham probably gone, and Fletcher Cox probably gone. You get another guy he's an undersized defensive tackle, but he's really, really, really good pass rusher. And that's extremely valued for an interior defensive lineman. Fits next to Jordan Davis perfectly for the Eagles. Texans at 23. Well, the Texans fan wanted wide receiver. Not going to do it. I'm not going to give them what they want. I'm going to go Terrion Arnold here from Alabama. Almost went back to school, and then Nick Saban retired, and Terrion Arnold declared. Arnold might be the first corner off the board as well. It's kind of a two-man race, three-man race between DeGene, Arnold, and what was him? Nate Wiggins. But Arnold is incredible. He was targeted a lot this year on the other side of Kool-Aid McKinstry, and just played really, really good. Really physical, great cover guy. Texans need someone else on the other side of Derek Stingley. I think Arnold is that guy. Cowboys at 24. They're in an interesting spot. A very interesting spot. I think this might be back-to-back corners for me. And I think I'm going to push Quinion Mitchell up the board. You see Toledo, and you're like, all right, why is Toledo in the first round? But Mitchell is an incredible player. Verified 4.3 speed by Dane Brugler of The Athletic, I believe. Height is there. Weight is there. The cover skills are incredible. I think you're going to be happy with Quinion Mitchell if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. Packers at 25 just got eliminated by the 49ers. Tough loss for them, but great season. I think you take corner. Potentially could be a pick for them. I really think Cooper DeJean would be a great pick if he lasted at this spot. But looking at the corners, I don't really think there's anyone that fits the Packers. And I don't think... I'm going to go offensive tackle because I'm not sure how much longer you have with David Bakhtiari, and the injuries are always a thing. I'm going to go Jordan Morgan from Arizona. Had a great year at Arizona this past year, pushed himself up the boards, and I just think it makes too much sense to have a guy under David Bakhtiari on that other side. Bucks at 26 is an easy pick for me. This is going to be Kool-Aid McKinstry. I just think they need more help in the back end and secondary. Carlton Davis is okay. Jamel Dean is okay. Antoine Whitfield's a really good player, but you need more. You get Kool-Aid McKinstry, an athletic freak, to play on that team. Cardinals here at 27. We had them go with Marvin Harrison earlier. I think this one would be defensive line for me. Edge rusher, probably. We're going to go ahead and give them Chop Robinson. Just incredibly twitchy edge rusher. I mean, fast, gets around the edge quick, the bend is there, the instincts are there. I think Chop Robinson is going to be a first-round pick. Chiefs here at 28. I would really think about wide receiver. I might actually do it. Let's have a little fun here. Let's have a little fun. We're going to push Keon Coleman back into the first round after being projected out of the first round. He's not typically the type of guy that the Chiefs would go for. The bigger guys, I like the speed. But I think Keon Coleman's really, really good, and he'd work well with Patrick Mahomes. The separation could be an issue at times for these bigger receivers, and Coleman definitely has that issue. But the hands are there, the 50-50. I mean, he might be the best 50-50 receiver in his class. Maybe he'll run the league and be like a top 10 50-50 ball receiver instantly in the NFL. Very talented guy. Bills at 29. Bills at 29. I'm going to go defensive back. I'm going to... Ooh, I'm very tempted to raise a guy. Kalen Carson's really, really good. I'd be very tempted to put him here. But I'm going to go TJ Tampa. He's kind of on that fringe, late first round, early second range. Very good zone corner. I'm going to give him here to the Buffalo Bills. I like Kyer Elam. He's been okay. I like Christian Benford. I just think you need more. Lions here at 30. This has been a pretty easy pick for me. I'm going to go Graham Barton. He's projected to play guard in the NFL, and I think that's what the Lions need. Jonah Jackson has been okay. You need someone else to maybe take over for him or play on the other side. Graham Barton is that guy. Really, really strong. Really, really good player from Duke. 49ers, I would give them offensive line, but I think there isn't really one worth taking here. They're in an interesting spot. I'm gonna go. This could be a little odd. I'm gonna go Byron Murphy here. Really has just started being projected into the first round, but Murphy's a really, really, really good player. Had a great productive season for Texas. Great pass rusher. Put up huge numbers. And the 49ers cannot get enough of D linemen. I mean, they love their D linemen. Murphy would go perfectly in that interior. You got Bosa and Chase Young on the edge. You got him, Javon Kinlaw on the inside. That's nasty. Ravens at 32. This is easy for me. I'm going to push a wide receiver up the board. I'm going to push A.D. Mitchell here. I really like what they have in Zay Flowers, in a slot guy. I think you need someone on the outside. A.D. Mitchell can be that guy. Once again, we're stuck here with the PFF ad. See if I can get it off my screen. But if not, I'll just talk. Yeah, A.D. Mitchell is just a really, really good jump ball guy. He had a great productive season for Texas, formerly at Georgia. And I think that the Ravens would be extremely happy with him in Baltimore. And here we go, looking at our full results here. I think this was a really, really fun mock draft to do. I had a lot of fun pushing them guys up the board, some falling down the board. It just happens in a mock draft. It's very unpredictable. So I like to have fun, make some good picks. Yeah, I really, really like this back end of the first round, like this 23 to 29 range. I had a lot of fun doing that range. But if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment if you agree with your team's pick, who you want your team to get, who you hope your team will get. And yeah, if you want to see more mock drafts, turn on those post notifications and subscribe, because I will be posting more mock drafts. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.